During the holiday, I had spent the time as Kirsty, but it was over all too soon and we had to head back home. I only had one set of boy clothes with me, the ones I had worked in when we had left. How am I going to get all my new clothes back into my house, Marie? I asked as we packed our suitcase. You can leave everything at my house if you want to. You can come around and get them when your mum's out at work, that way she'll be none the wiser, said Marie. She had always been good at working out solutions to our problems. I had had such a wonderful time being Kirsty for a whole week. Marie had encouraged me to find my feminine self and had spent hours showing me how to apply my makeup. I could now apply it almost flawlessly, so much so that I think Marie was slightly jealous of my newfound looks. One thing was really playing on my mind now: should I come clean to my mum and tell her about Kirsty? I'd been Kirsty 24/7 for a week and I didn't want it to stop. Marie, I've loved every minute of this holiday. You've been so understanding about me being Kirsty and letting me explore that side of me, but do you think I should tell my mum? That's up to you, darling, she replied. Mum and Dad had split up and gone their separate way when I was a youngster and was an only child. Mum had never found anyone else to replace Dad. In a way, I was pleased, because I had all her attention to myself. I'm going to tell her, I blurted out. I just want to be Kirsty all the time, and I can't do that living at home if Mum doesn't know. What happens if it goes wrong and she throws you out of the house, said Marie, thinking ahead as usual. I'll just move in with you, you've got an empty flat, I replied. As we drove home, kept going over what I was going to say to Mum in my head. I had to do it, I had to come out to Mum. I wanted her to know how I really felt. If I was going to live as Kirsty, I would need all the support I could get from her. Marie pulled the car onto the driveway and we walked straight into the house. Mum was in the kitchen doing some baking. She rushed over to the two of us and gave us both a huge hug, as though she knew something was up. How was the holiday? She asked. Fine, I replied. Can we go into the living room, Mum? I've got something to tell you. Mum looked at us both. Am I going to be a granny? She asked. We all sat on the sofa in the living room. Mum, I've got something to tell you, and I'm not sure if you'll understand what I'm going to say. I like dressing up as a girl, I blurted out. Without stopping, I said. Marie knows, and I've been dressing as Kirsty all week while we've been on holiday. Mum looked at me and started to giggle. Darling, you've just confirmed what I've known for years. I know you used to dress in my clothes, you never put things back the way I had left them. I've no problems with it. In fact, being Kirsty will make you the daughter I never had. What do you think, Marie? Marie looked at us both. I love the person you are, whether a boy or as a girl. In fact, I think Kirsty is a nicer person than Keith. She's calm, polite, and slightly introverted, unlike the bullish extrovert called Keith. I'd love to meet Kirsty, said Mum. When can I meet her? 10 minutes time, I said as I stood up and went out to the car to get my bag. Can you come and help me please, Marie? No, you are quite capable of getting yourself dressed. I'm going to tell your mum about the holiday, said Marie. Having retrieved my bag from the car, I raced up to my room. I needed to dress conservatively, didn't want to give the wrong impression of her newly found daughter. T-shirt and gypsy skirt and flats should do it. I stood in front of my mirror while I did my makeup, brushed my hair, and then dressed. I looked at the finished article and gave myself a twirl. Looking good, honey, I thought to myself, as I went downstairs with trepidation. Mum and Marie were talking to each other as I walked into the room. They both looked up together. Oh, my, said Mum, you look absolutely gorgeous, Kirsty, as she stood up and gave me the biggest hug I'd ever had from her. I'm so glad you have found the courage to tell me about your little secret. I wanted to ask you ages ago but never found the right moment. The three of us sat and talked girly things for ages until Marie said she had to head off home. As we stood at the door, she turned to me and whispered in my ear. Your mum was asking me about our holiday and what I thought about you being Kirsty. I have to admit, I like having you as a girlfriend, it's quite a sexy thought. I stood at the door waving to her as she drove away before returning to the living room where Mum was still sitting. So you've known I've been dressing for years, I said to Mum. What was the giveaway? Well dear, I always tucked the suspender hooks on my girdles so they wouldn't catch on any of my stockings. When you put them back after borrowing them you didn't do it, that's how I knew. How about we go upstairs and see what we can find for you? I'm sure I've got a couple of skirts and dresses that will fit you. I trotted behind Mum as we went into her room. She opened her wardrobe door, the cave of wonders as I used to call it. Mum pulled out the red dress I had been wearing when Marie caught me. You may as well have this, Marie told me you were wearing this when she caught you dressed. Mum passed me another 3 dresses, some skirts, and 4 silk blouses. I think these will fit you. I was going to take them to the charity shop, but you may as well have them to start your new wardrobe. Mum then walked over to her chest of drawers and opened the bottom drawer. You may as well have these too, she said as she handed me a white roll on the girdle and a black basque. I never liked that basque, Uncle Clive gave it to me last year for my birthday. I've never worn it. I think Marie would love you in it. I went through to my room to put my newfound trove of clothes away. I couldn't help myself, I slipped into the red dress, then went down to dinner.